stand for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call. Mrs. Fitzwater? Mr. Bramhall?
Here.
Mr. Gaffney?
Here.
Ms. Iacone?
Here.
Mr. Kenny?
Here.
Mr. McGuckin? Ms. Quinn?
Here.
Mrs. Trampay?
Here.
Ms. Ally Neidert? She here? Ms. Olivia Ruggieri? Thank you. Statement is hereby made that adequate notice of this meeting was given by submission of said notice to the Burlington County Times, the Courier Post, the Cinnaminson Township Clerk, and the district website on January 6, 2022. There will be no executive session tonight. We'll move on to number 4, routine business. The board secretary's report, the treasurer's report, C, the budget receipts transfer, D, the monthly transfer reports, E, the high school activities report, F, the food service management cost performance statement for April of 2022, G, the certified bill list, H, the approval of minutes, and and can I have a motion, Mrs. Trampay, can I have a motion to approve the routine business?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 5, routine business, the enrollment report. B, the health report for April of 2022. The fire alarm report for April of 2022. The crisis drill report for April of 2022. The HIB report. Superintendent's monthly report, Mr. Capella.
Thank you, Mrs. Turner. Welcome, everyone. I love when we have a great turnout at board meetings, and for those of you that this is your first time here, they're always this crowded, lots of the public wishing to engage. It's a really exciting time of the year. It's a time of the year where this is what educators live for. It's the time, and I'll keep my remarks brief this evening because tonight is really about recognizing our staff, but I did have a couple points that I did want to make, and I sort of arranged them in exciting order, ascending exciting order. So it is testing season in Cinnaminson. That means very popular NJ, SLA, COGAT testing. Many of our students at CHS are going through their AP testing, so very stressful time for our students, but I appreciate all of the folks, all of our teachers who have put things in place to make sure that our students are well looked after in their mental health and their wellness while they go through this stressful time. So if you have students testing at home, please be mindful of the fact that there's just that little bit of extra stress in their life as we go through this. So our New Albany Kindergarten, I love to recognize things that are happening at New Albany and Rush School. So we're going to hear from our liaisons from the middle school and high school in just a little bit. Kindergarten started their Earth Day garden, so if you happen to find yourself at New Albany in the kindergarten courtyard, be sure to check that out. Our students will work to water and cure for the plants throughout the duration of the school year, and that's a really exciting project for them. I'd like to recognize the Students of the Month from the Eleanor Rush School. They are Emmanuel DeSilva, nominated by Mrs. McDonough and Mrs. Malinowski. Fourth grade student, Thomas Klein, nominated by Mrs. Ostrovsky and Ms. King. Fifth grade student, Noah Costa, nominated by Ms. O'Flynn. And the specialist student, Hannah Side, fifth grade, nominated by Mrs. Everman in Spanish. In addition to testing season, it is also performance season. There are a number of musical groups in the district who will have performances coming up. And if I miss any, I do apologize, but coming up this Thursday, our district strings will put on a performance in the district. The New Albany first grade concert happening next week on the 18th and 19th. And something we're really excited for this year on May 26th, we will have a full district-wide band concert, something that has not been done here before. So we're really excited to see all of our groups from 3 through 12 perform together on the same stage. This is also the season of field days, field trips, Fitness Friday, and all of the fun things that come along with it. It is also officially recognition season. Earlier today, an opportunity to visit the high school's People's Choice Awards. That'll be followed by a middle school version of it. We have academic awards at the middle school and the high school. And of course, recognizing last week all of our teachers for Teacher Appreciation Week. And I'd like to recognize our administrators who did a great job making sure that our teachers felt appreciated throughout the week. To all of our moms out there, I hope you had a wonderful Mother's Day this past Sunday. This is Special Education Week, so a special thank you to Mrs. Llewellyn, who has put recognition for our special education students at the forefront not only this week, but every week and throughout the school year. And with that, in just a few moments, we'll have an opportunity to recognize our Teachers of the Year, our Board of Education Academic Award winners, and our ESP of the Year. So a very exciting time to be an educator. So happy that you're here with us tonight. And if you've enjoyed this board meeting, we'll be doing it again in June. You're all welcome to come back. And next time, we'll be recognizing the students, which is also a ton of fun. So, Mrs. Turner, that's the superintendent's report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Capello. Mr. Kenny, may I have a motion to approve the routine business matters?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Routine business matters approved. We will now move on to our
Student representatives.
student representatives report. I guess, do we have a fill now?
We'll start with the middle school.
Okay. Olivia, thank you.
Good evening to all of you. Our students of the month for April are 6th grade Delaney Trampay, 7th grade Jake Barbich, and 8th grade Sarah Del Grippo. May marks Mental Health Awareness Month. The counseling office created an interactive bulletin board along with a mental health video series presented by our SEL counselor, Ms. Tack, to be aired during homeroom. The boys' A baseball team has a record of 1-2-1 so far this season. The boys have games this week against Bordentown and Winslow. The team has been competing hard and a pleasure to work with this spring. The boys' B baseball team has started the season at 1-1 and really starting to come together as a team. They have 3 games this week that will really show how far these Pirates can sail. The girls' A softball team is currently 3-1 going into this week. We will host Bordentown this week, and the girls have their last 3 games next week. Girls' B softball team is going 1-4, and we will have another game this Tuesday. Both of the girls' lacrosse teams are currently undefeated. A team is 5-0, and the B team is 3-0. The track team is off to a great start. We are 4-1 in competitions this season. We also just competed at Penn Relays where we finished 5th and 7th in boys and girls. 6th and 7th grade Unity members went to Philadelphia to the National Library Museum last week. 8th grade club members visited to Trenton last Thursday to the Kids Bridge Museum. Students will participate in Fitness Frenzy next Friday, May 20th, perform in our spring musical concerts, and celebrate during our 8th grade activities, including the dance on June 10th. 6th and 7th graders can attend, and an after-school roller skating party on June 15th. Information will be coming out in the next few weeks. Thank you. Good.
Thank you. We'll now move on to our Board of Education Achievement Award presentation.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Turner. I'm going to transition over to the podium. Principals, administrators will call you by school and organization. Hear me okay? I'll pick it up. As I mentioned earlier, this evening I have the honor of recognizing a number of individuals. We'll be recognizing our Governor's Educator of the Year program, Teachers of the Year award winners, our Educational Services Professional of the Year, and also our Board of Education Achievement Award winner. And just so members of our audience know, this is a process whereby professionals are highly vetted by their peers, by members and stakeholders of our community, and ultimately it is a significant honor to be recognized by that group. We have so many wonderful teachers, professionals, staff members, secretaries, nurses, all throughout our entire district, nearly 500 staff members, and on any given day, any of them could be up here for nomination. So it takes something special to be recognized among the cream of the crop. And we're going to start that recognition certainly with one of the best right away. I'm going to call up Dr. Frank Goulburn, who is going to introduce our District Memorial School Board of Education Achievement Award winner of the year.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. Nice to see everyone. Our Memorial School is comprised of our administrative offices, our child study team, our technology department, our SAC program, and our pre-K classes. It's my privilege this year to announce our honoree for Memorial School for the Board of Education Achievement Award for someone who has gone above and beyond what is expected is Mr. Steve Creel, our Director of Technology. Come on up, Steve. At a time in which technology became so important to our school district was Steve's second month on the job. At a time in which we were rolling out so many new technology applications to help our teachers, to help our students learn at the best environment possible, Steve's fingerprints were all over those rollouts. When we started having these board meetings on Zoom, for the world to see, for the public to see. Steve was one of the main folks who got those working each and every meeting. These new fancy cameras that we have in here, in which we're live streaming our board meetings now on YouTube, Steve instrumental in making that happen. This past winter, Steve helped spearhead a grant, almost $500,000, to get Chromebooks in the hands of as many of our students as we could possibly need. Rolled out over 1,500 Chromebooks distributed by his staff, which he helped oversee. His fingerprints all over that rollout, which has helped us become another one-to-one district in this area. So for being someone who's always willing to help us find solutions, always saying, I'll help you, try to figure it out, someone, again, who always is, you can be counted on to go above and beyond. Steve, congratulations on being our Memorial School honoree this year. Congratulations.
One portrait, one landscape.
I'm good. Okay, thank you.
It's all cool.
Congratulations. All right, thank you, Dr. Goldburn. Next, I'd like to call up Mr. Mark Tyndall and Mr. Keith Zemecki. I assume you're joining him, or are you just here for support? Yeah, come on up, Keith. These are the gentlemen that run our operations unit, and they will introduce our Board of Education Achievement Award winner from that unit. Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Capella, members of the board, honored guests, friends and family. It was great pride tonight. I introduced Justin Otto as our Achievement Award winner. Come on up, Justin. Justin is a lifelong resident of Cinnaminson, all 21 years. Graduate 2018. I hired him because I felt that he's old school throwback. He comes to work on time, shows up, doesn't complain, completes his job, and I'm proud of him. He's a Cinnaminson kid, and I'm glad he's part of our Cinnaminson family. That's about it.
Thank you. All right, moving right along, I'd like to introduce the administration from the New Albany School. Ashley, Val, you guys can come up. I'll let you introduce the folks who you are recognizing this evening.
Thank you. Good evening. Good evening to the board. Good evening to the family and friends that are here. It is our pleasure to introduce Mrs. Mary Nauman, our school nurse at New Albany. She has been selected as the Board of Ed award recipient, and Mrs. Nauman works tirelessly. She treats so many students an extraordinary amount each and every day, from minor scrapes to major tummy aches. Her bedside manner is warm and caring. She not only cares for our students, but she also cares for our staff members. She makes sure that she takes care of each and every one of us at New Albany, and we are extremely proud to present her with the Board of Education Achievement Award.
You can stand right next to it.
Hello, everyone. I will be presenting the Educational Services Professional Award for the entire Cinnaminson district. So unfortunately, this person is Miss Moeller, our school counselor at New Albany. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to be here with us, and she's very upset she couldn't join us today. Hopefully, she's watching live. But I just wanted to really just give you a quick excerpt of how she won this award and just the first little line from her recommendation letter. So imagine that you're a second grade student in September of 2020. There are several new changes due to a global pandemic, and you're nervous and scared to be physically in school for the first time. But all of a sudden, you're in your classroom, you find out that your school counselor is coming to visit you today, and she walks in with a very elaborate Mr. Potato Head costume, all right? So all of a sudden, your nerves are at ease, and you know that you have this person that you can rely on, that teaches you how to navigate your feelings and your emotions, and you just know you can trust this person, and that's how our students feel about Miss Moeller. In addition to that, our staff relies on her every single day. She's there to lend a helping hand. She's playing in the Gaga pits with students. She's observing a student in class to see how she can help a teacher. It's really outstanding. And the last thing I'll say is that she is actually a natural-born leader. She led the first ever Pirate Leadership Program in our school this year. So our second grade students, selected second grade students, were able to show their leadership skills and really be a role model for their peers. So this is all due to Miss Moeller. She is such a wonderful part of our school family. I wish she was here today, but we honor her today. We congratulate her. Thank you. Okay, I am going to also present the Governor's Educator of the Year Award. Unfortunately, Mrs. Nancy McGann could not be with us this evening. However, she has been a Cinnaminson resident her entire life. Her own children went through our Cinnaminson schools and were provided an exemplary education. Mrs. McGann then, after college, came back to Cinnaminson to work as a kindergarten teacher, where she has been with us for 22 years, and we are extremely proud to have her with us. She pours love, warmth, and caring into her students each and every day, and she is their first opportunity for them to be educated at New Albany. We are grateful that she is a part of our kindergarten team. So congratulations to Mrs. Nancy McGann.
All right, thank you, ladies. Congratulations to those three. And at this time, I'd like to call the administration from the Rush School up. Mrs. DeSimone and Mrs. Mealy.
Good evening, everyone. It is my very great honor at this time to ask Ms. Kelly Kroon to please join me at the podium as our Board of Education Achievement Award recipient for Rush School. So Ms. Kroon began her career with Cinnaminson Schools in 2017, and since that time, she has continued to hone her craft to provide exceptional support to our students who need it most. An educational assistant's job, she will tell you, is never the same from day to day, and her flexibility and calm demeanor both serve her very well. In the nominations that we received, Ms. Kroon was described by her colleagues as incredibly hardworking, insightful, dedicated, and someone who goes above and beyond on a daily basis. She also has endless patience and offers a kind smile in every situation. Ms. Kroon is always open and honest with the students, and as such, they respond so positively to her. She truly gets to know them and forms meaningful relationships with them. In turn, Ms. Kroon combines her professional background with her personal knowledge of each child to bring out their best. Described by one nominator as Mary Poppins, Ms. Kroon arrives in the classroom with her infamous bag of tricks and can remedy any situation. In addition to her daily responsibilities, Ms. Kroon works tirelessly to provide high-quality training to in-district staff members, myself included, As an annual participant in Ms. Kroon's training, I can attest to the professionalism and expertise that she possesses. She creates an environment that is both purposeful and inviting. Ms. Kroon teaches her colleagues using practical information as well as personal anecdotes and ensures that when our session is complete, we can confidently implement the strategies that she has taught us. On behalf of the entire Rush staff, I am very thankful for Ms. Kroon's ongoing hard work and commitment to the children of Cinnaminson. Congratulations. Oh, ahead you go. Tall people on the end. Down.
You have to cut someone out, cut me.
My writing is very big here because I cannot see anymore. So thank you all for coming tonight. Thank you to the board for having us here to celebrate these wonderful, wonderful educators and support staff. Tonight, I am proud to call up Mr. Forrest Harding as our Rush School Educator of the Year. So as a school administrator, you hope to work alongside dedicated, passionate educators who put children first and who are leaders among their peers. And Mr. Forrest Harding truly exemplifies these qualities and more as a teaching professional and colleague. He ensures that each learner is met at their own level, and he aspires to make them the best versions of themselves, to breed confidence in them and let them know that they can really, truly achieve their highest potential. Forrest is a master, one might say a Jedi master, you know I had to have some Star Wars in here, at building strong relationships with his students. He takes the time to get to know each student. He asks about their weekend, their family, their culture. If they're sharing big events or sports that are coming up, he makes sure to circle back and really check in with them to see how everything turned out. Even to the students who are not in his classes, he is quite the entertainer. He's the cool guy in the Hawaiian shirt on Fridays who plays the ukulele as they all walk out of the building. He's the talented impersonator who does a mean Yoda impression over the loudspeaker on May the 4th. He's the teacher who sings all kinds of silly songs to get his students hooked into the lesson. Most recently, after a hostile takeover of the ERS Morning News, he really truly showed his talent of puppeteering and became, to everyone, the dancing hot dog. So we will now know him as that. His positivity is truly contagious around the building. And it's also contagious in the community. We have many parents who have reached out and shared their experiences with Mr. Harding and how he has inspired and given their children enthusiasm and excitement in learning that maybe they have not had before. So we are very, very much appreciative of that. He is a team player on his fifth grade team. He works tirelessly. He's known to be the early bird in the building. He's also known to burn the midnight oil. So he's there before anyone, and a lot of times one of the last ones there too. He will help out at the drop of a hat. It's a true privilege to stand here next to Mr. Forrest Harding. He is a talented member of the Rush School staff and really truly of the Cinnaminson School District. He chose to enter this profession and as a second career, and his passion for teaching and working with children is evident daily. And did I mention that his first career, hold on here, was as a puppeteer. I'm so not as good as you with this, but for PBS, right? Chicka, he came from Chicka to Rush School. So I really, truly am personally honored to name Mr. Harding as our Rush School Educator of the Year. And we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you.
his shoulder for the picture. Oh, yeah. Very pretty. It's gonna be right here. One shot, one shot.
Pretty genuine.
It's now my privilege to introduce Ms. Nelson and Ms. Melcher from Cinnaminson Middle School, who will introduce their award recipients.
Good evening, everyone. I have the absolute pleasure of introducing our 2021-2022 CMS Board of Education Achievement Award winner, Mr. Williamson III. You know, I could say a lot of words about Mr. Sin: empathetic, kind, hardworking, trustworthy. These are just a few of the words that describe Mr. Sin. Mr. Sin has been an absolute asset to our team here at CMS, and it has been a pleasure for me to work so closely with him here during my first year. For starters, Mr. Sin always has a calm, cool, and collected demeanor that puts both the students and the staff at ease when facing a challenge. And Mr. Sin wears many hats. I think he coaches in every season. And he's our crisis counselor, our anti-bullying specialist. And as much as Mr. Sin does, and no matter how heavy the load is, you would never know it. His heart is in it, and he truly is dedicated to the well-being of our students. Every day, I and the rest of the staff, we really do have the pleasure of working with a professional who represents and embodies CMS pride through and through. So for those reasons, I'm very, very honored to present Mr. Sin with the Board of Education Achievement Award. It's like floating upwards.
Good evening. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce Cinnaminson Middle School's Governor's Educator of the Year Award winner, Mrs. Amy Sellers. Mrs. Sellers is a 7th grade reading teacher who is held in high regard by just about every group of people that her career intersects with. In my hallway travels before homeroom each morning, there's almost always a visitor at Mrs. Sellers' doorway, sometimes to discuss coursework, but I think more often just to say hello or to receive a warm smile. Amy is always hard at work behind the scenes in these really quiet and unassuming ways, masterfully completing lessons, supporting students. She's the kind of person who organizes the collection for the staff member in need without ever being asked to do so. She's the kind of teacher you can approach in July and ask her to maybe take on a brand new course in the year ahead. She will volunteer her time to support a new teacher, all of this without any complaint or any sort of desire for recognition. Ironically, she was recognized twice this year in her classroom and turned about as purple as the curtain behind her because she is just so truly humble. Mrs. Sellers has taken on a leadership role within the ELA department, particularly with her active work that goes into the selection process for summer reading, as well as with the character education efforts here at CMS. She consistently puts effort into fostering and improving morale for students and staff, and she's the kind of person who could bring a "it's Friday, we got this" kind of mentality to a Tuesday. Simply put, her enthusiasm for education and her truly perpetual belief in the potential of each and every student is what makes her a dynamic, respected, and truly deserving teacher of this recognition tonight. So congratulations, Mrs. Sellers.
And finally, I would like to welcome the administration from Cinnaminson High School, Mr. Ryan Gorman and Ms. Caitlin McCann.
It is my privilege to announce Cinnaminson High School Board of Education Achievement Award winner, Ms. Kim Slater. I'm going to give you a list of reasons why Kim is great, but I think the one for me that is paramount is just that she's able to work with administration in such a seamless way. But she's also the teacher that you would hope was the teacher next door to you, or the teacher that you'd hope your children had as somebody that they were taking an elective with or a business course with, because she's just so kind and meticulous and really works hard for our students. So Mrs. Slater joined our school back in 2017. In that short time, she's done so many things. In addition to teaching Accounting 1 and 2, financial readiness, computing for college, she also works with many clubs and activities. So she's the co-founder and co-advisor of our robotics team, working with our students after school, during lunch, and any time that she can help them build something for a competition. Mrs. Slater is also the co-advisor for Interact, one of our community service organizations, and she really works with our students to make sure they understand the importance of giving back to the community, both in the school and in the Cinnaminson community at large. Additionally, Mrs. Slater has really helped with our DECA program. She's not even the advisor anymore. She was the advisor before, but she offered to chaperone a bunch of high school students going to a convention overnight. So think about what kind of dedication that takes, right? For all of these things and so many more reasons, Mrs. Slater is really an integral part of our high school, and she's this year's Cinnaminson High School Board of Education Achievement Award winner.
That brings us to our last award for the evening, but he certainly is first in my heart, the Cinnaminson High School Educator of the Year, Mr. Brett Jenkins. While he walks, Brett has been a math teacher at Cinnaminson High School for 15 years, and I think on the surface, he's a really easy pick for this award. He's brilliant, he's a content master, he's charismatic in his classroom, he can teach, regardless of level, the student who comes in with the greatest math challenge or the least math challenge equally effectively, and everyone finds a place in his classroom to be successful. They feel seen, they feel valued. In fact, it is that ability for him to create connections with his students that I think is Brett's greatest gift. Whether he has them in class for a year, for 2 years, for all 4 years, has them in lunch duty, bumps into them in the hallway on his way to make copies, whatever it is, once a kid has made a connection with Brett, he's theirs forever. He checks up on them, he makes sure that they have what they need, he tells them who they need to talk to when they have an issue, he makes sure they know who to sit with at lunch, he makes sure they know who to ride with on the bus, who to go to practice with, who to be at school with. He provides for the students at Cinnaminson High School an entire and complete package. And I think so often in these speeches, we talk about teachers who have made brilliant scientists or eloquent writers or great mathematicians, and Brett does all of those things. But what I think Brett does the best at is make great people. So for that, it is my privilege to recognize Mr. Jenkins as our Teacher of the Year.
Every time. Every time.
Sideways, I knew it was coming.
Thank you to all of our administrators. How about one last round of applause for all of our award winners this evening? I don't typically say specifically that I am speaking on behalf of the board, but I know all of my colleagues on the board join me in beaming with pride on our May meeting every year when we get to recognize the outstanding educators that we have. And I think maybe it was Ms. McCann who paid the ultimate compliment to all of these professionals who work with our little ones, that we would be happy to have our own children, delighted to have them, and honored to have them teach our own kids or be a counselor for our own children. And we've got an entire staff of those folks, and for these folks to be recognized among greatness, I think truly tells the story of Cinnaminson, our award recognition. So one final round of applause for everybody, and thank you for being here with us tonight. We appreciate the support of all the families who came out. In just a second, Ms. Turner is going to ask for a brief recess. We'll have a few minutes if you'd like to take a quick snapshot, and I will say we will not be totally offended. I see some little ones here. If you have to get home and do some homework, and don't stick around for the latter parts of our meeting, we won't be offended. Not you, principals, you have to stay.
Mr. Bramhall, may I have a motion to recess for 10 minutes, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We'll take a brief recess for 10 minutes. You're more than welcome to stay, but you don't have to. There's nothing exciting going on. No votes will be taken.
There we go. All right, motion to reconvene, and then
Ms.
we'll...
Quinn, may I have a motion to reconvene back into public session?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Been doing
All in favor?
You don't need to roll call that.
We're back in public session. Do we have any correspondence to the board on agenda items only, please?
No correspondence.
No one? Sorry. Number 9, committee reports. I think.
Two committee reports, yep. Mrs. Trempe?
Yes. The curriculum, can you hear me? The Curriculum and Student Activities Committee met virtually last Wednesday, May 4th. The committee received an overview of curriculum updates that have been completed to align with the 2020 New Jersey Student Learning Standards for Health. These changes would go into effect for the 2022-2023 school year. The committee was reminded that families have the ability to opt out of some of these lessons if they so choose. The committee was informed that sample lessons that were recently discussed in media reports last month will not be used here in Cinnaminson. The committee was also informed that we unfortunately have a very low number of summer camp offerings. While our extended school year ESY and summer SMART remediation programs are still planned for this summer, the district will work to revitalize camp for the summer of 2023. The next committee meeting has not been scheduled at this time.
Thank you. Ms. Iacone?
Yes, she's a kid. The Facilities Transportation Committee met virtually on Wednesday, May 4th at 4 p.m. The committee meeting began with an update and photos of completed projects, which included the Memorial School Conference Room and the New Albany School canopy. Mr. Tyndall updated the committee on all planned summer projects throughout the district. Mr. Capello provided an update on the installation of security cameras throughout the district. Ms. Livingood shared and reviewed the preliminary bid specs for the fuel tank removal project at the high school. The bid opening is tentatively scheduled for June 7th in order to accommodate an August 26th project completion date. Lastly, Mr. Goldberg provided the committee with a curriculum update. The next meeting of the Facilities Transportation Committee has not been scheduled at this time.
Thank you, Ms. Iacone. Can I have a motion to approve the committee reports, Mr. Kenny?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Ms. Quinn?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion approved. Public comments on agenda items only?
All right, at this time, any members of the public who would like to comment on an agenda item, now is the time to do so. If you would, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record. 3, 2, 1, seeing none.
Okay, personnel certified on number 11, Mr. Capello?
Thank you, Mrs. Turner. I am on section 11, personnel certificated, under letter A, appointments and transfer. Under number 1, seeking the board to approve the following appointments for the 22-23 school year. District Affirmative Action Officer, Frank Goulburn. Building Affirmative Action Officers, as listed by building in the agenda. Staff 504 Coordinator, also Dr. Goulburn. 504 Committee Coordinator, Darlene Llewellyn. IDA Coordinator and Accountability Officer, Darlene Llewellyn. District Anti-Bullying Coordinator, Dr. Goulburn. School Anti-Bullying Specialist, listed in the agenda by school. ESSA Coordinator and Accountability Officer, Dr. Goulburn. District Test Coordinator and NJSLA Coordinator, Sherry Spear. School Safety Specialist, Dr. Goulburn. District McKinney-Vento Liaison for Families in Transition, Sherry Spear. And the Educational Stability Liaison, Sherry Spear. Number 2, seeking the board to approve the reappointment of salaries for certificated staff under the CEA's S1 salary guide for the 22-23 school year as attached. Number 3, seeking the board to approve the reappointments and salaries for the Cinnaminson Association of School Administrators for the 22-23 school year as attached. Number 4, seeking the board to approve the reappointments and salaries of the Cinnaminson Supervisors Association for the 22-23 school year as attached. Number 5, seeking the board to approve the reappointments and salaries of the Cinnaminson administrative personnel as attached. Number 6, seeking the board to approve the request to extend the long-term substitute assignment of Sean Riley Middle School from April 25th to June 22nd, 2022. Number 7, seeking the board to approve the appointment of Rebecca Raffin, New Albany School, as MD teacher, grades 1 and 2, effective August 31st, 2022, for the 22-23 school year. Number 8, seeking the board to approve the appointment of Danielle Lorenz, New Albany School, as a T1 teacher, effective August 31st, 2022, for the 22-23 school year. Number 9, seeking the board to approve the appointment of Deanna Simon, New Albany School, T1 teacher, effective August 31st, 2022, for the 22-23 school year. Number 10, seeking the board to approve the appointment of Christine Denny, New Albany School, as long-term substitute teacher, effective August 31st, 22 through June 15th, 2023, for the entirety of the school year. Under number 11, seeking the board to approve the appointment of Laura McHugh, New Albany School, as an MD teacher, grades 1 and 2, effective August 31st, 2022, for the 22-23 school year. Under number 12, seeking the board to approve the appointment transfer of Kimberly Kramer from math teacher to school guidance counselor at the high school, effective August 31st, for the 22-23 school year. Under number 13, seeking the board to approve the appointment of Tanya Hartwick, middle school teacher, as middle school math teacher, effective August 31st, 22, for the 22-23 school year. Number 14, seeking the board to approve the contract and salary for the director of curriculum and instruction, effective July 1st, 2022, for the 22-23 school year. Number 15, seeking the board to approve the contract and salary for the director of special services, effective July 1st, 22, for the 22-23 school year. Number 16, seeking the board to approve the contract and salary for the board secretary, business administrator, effective July 1st, 20, for the 22-23 school year, as attached. Under number 17, seeking the board to approve the extension of Arlene Goldberg as long-term substitute with the child study team from June 1st until June 10th for the purposes of doing evaluations. Under letter B, retirements and resignations, seeking the board to accept the resignation for the purposes of retirement of Kathy Canali, kindergarten teacher at the New Albany School, after 33 years of dedicated service to the children of Cinnaminson, effective June 30th, 2022. Seeking for the board to accept the resignation for personal reasons of Selena Beatty, New Albany School, effective June 30th, 2022. Under teacher overloads, number 1, seeking the board to approve and ratify and affirm a 1-year period overage for Ralph Kane to supervise Rachel Martinez, long-term substitute at Cinnaminson Middle School, retroactive to April 13th, 2022 until June 22nd, 2022. Number 2, seeking the board to approve the below teachers for 1 period of overage at Cinnaminson Middle School for special education, effective May 9th, 22 through the remainder of the school year, and those teachers and amounts are listed in the agenda under letter C. Under letter D, we have no advancements. Letter E, extra duty appointments. Seeking the board to ratify and affirm the following teachers as chaperones for the 4th grade concert held at Rush Intermediate School. Those names are listed under number 1 in the agenda. Number 2, seeking the board to approve Anthony Faltz to be paid as a trainer for safety care training course on June 23rd for 6 hours. Under number 3, seeking the board to approve Kevin Bailey as substitute teacher for the ESY program, effective July 1st through August 5th, 2022. Under number 4, seeking the board to approve the following teachers for a major curriculum revision for the courses listed, and they are listed by course and teacher name in the agenda under number 4. Under number 5, seeking the board to approve the following teachers to update curriculum to align with the CUSAC expectations per course, and those courses and teacher are listed in the agenda under number 5. Number 6, seeking the board to approve Colin Canfield, Cinnaminson High School, as a 1-to-1 quarantine tutor to be paid via Title I ARP ESSER funds for the 21-22 school year. Under number 7, seeking the board to rescind the previous appointment of Paul Otto, classroom aide for the Leap into Learning Program Academy at New Albany School. And number 8, seeking the board to approve Jacqueline Cucinato as classroom aide for the Leap into Learning Program at New Albany School from July 5th to July 28th. And moving on to letter F, leave of absences. We do have 3 folks requesting leaves of absences. They are listed by employee number under letter F in the agenda. Under letter G, substitutes, seeking the board to ratify and affirm the resignation for personal reasons of Juliette Wilson, permanent sub number 2 at the New Albany School, retroactive to April 20th, 2022. Number 2, seeking the board to ratify and affirm Janine Smith, permanent substitute teacher number 5 at the middle school, retroactive to May 2nd, 2022, for the remainder of the 21-22 school year. Number 3, seeking the board to approve the following substitutes to be called on an as-needed basis for the remainder of the school year, and those subs are listed in the agenda under G3. Number 4, seeking the board to approve the contract with Beata Home Healthcare for substitute stool nurses to be called on an as-needed basis for RN services effective July 1st, 22 through June 30th, 23. Number 5, seeking the board to accept the resignation for personal reasons of Emily Pinsky, permanent sub-teacher number 1 at the New Albany School, effective May 6, 2022. Under letter H, tutor, seeking the board to approve Lisa Conway as tutor to be called on an as-needed basis for the remainder of the 21-22 school year. And under letter I, student teacher, seeking the board to approve Bridget Doherty, Rowan University, as student teacher with Colleen Nelson at the New Albany School from September 21st, 22 through December 14th, 22, and then again January 17th, 23 to May 5th, 23. There are no mentor teachers, so Mrs. Turner?
Thank you, Mr.
That is
Capelli.
personnel certificated.
Thank you. Mr. Gaffney, may I have a motion to approve the personnel certificated?
So moved.
Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Ms. Iacone?
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye. Thank you very much. Personnel non-certificated, Mr. Capello.
And real quick, before we move on, Mrs. Turner, I do have a few folks who joined us here this evening, and I'd love it if their administration would introduce some of the new friendly faces who will be teaching our students next year. So I see a lot of principals and supervisors out there, so I'm not sure who's going to do the introduction, so I'm going to leave it in your hands. But I do see Mrs. Jones there ready to go, so if you would please introduce who you brought here with you tonight.
So I would like to welcome Mrs. Becky Braxton. She's going to join us as our multiply disabled classroom for grades 1 and 2. She is a TCNJ graduate. I'd like to welcome and congratulate Ms. Lauren McHugh, who is a Cinnaminson resident and graduate. She is from full circle, and she is also going to join the New Albany staff as our multiply disabled special education teacher for grades 1 and 2. She is a William Patterson graduate. Several years. And finally, I would like to congratulate and welcome Ms. Deanna Simon, who is a student teacher with Ms. Colleen Nelson, and she learned so well that she got a job. She's a growing graduate, and she is going to be our T1 teacher.
Yeah. Welcome.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Tanya Harwick. She's going to be a new math teacher at the middle school for us. Tanya is a Monmouth graduate with an elementary ed and grade 5A math certificate. She is in year 15 of her career at East Windsor. She's a Burlington County resident and mom of 3 boys who are here to outshine her normal outfits here tonight. Welcome aboard, Tanya.
All right, congratulations, everyone. I know you are going to love it here. Did I miss anybody, principals? Perfect. Now we can move on to Section 12, Personnel Non-Certificated.
Thank you.
As soon as I load it. Okay, under letter A, seek the board to accept with sincere appreciation for her 9.5 years of service to the students of Cinnaminson, the resignation for purposes of retirement of Carol Murphy, school bus driver with the Transportation Department, effective June 30th, 2022. Under number 2, seeking the board to approve the non-renewal of employment for the 22-23 school year of employee number 101788, effective June 30th, 2022. Under number 3, seeking the board to accept the resignation for personal reasons of Cindy Vandergrift, custodian in the Operations Department, effective June 30th, 2022. Under number 4, seeking the board to ratify and affirm the resignation for personal reasons of Ada Workman, school bus driver in the Transportation Department, retroactive to May 6, 2022. Under leave of absences, seeking the board to approve an unpaid leave of absence for the following employees, which is in conjunction with the FMLA, and they are listed in the agenda. Under letter C, seeking the board to approve the appointment of Courtney Sullivan, special education ABA tech at the Memorial School, effective May 16, 2022. Under number 2, seeking the board to ratify and affirm the appointment of Samantha Kessler, school bus driver in the Transportation Department, retroactive May 1, 2022. Number 3, seeking the board to ratify and affirm the appointment of Wendy Tatone, cafeteria and playground aide at the New Albany School, retroactive to April 25th, 2022. Number 4, seeking the board to approve the appointment of Daniel Doherty, cafeteria and playground aide at the Rush School, effective May 16, 2022. Number 5, seeking the board to approve the reappointment and salaries of all non-certificated staff, effective July 1st, 2022, for the 22-23 school year as attached. Number 6, seeking the board to approve the resolution to withhold increment as listed in the agenda. Under letter D, extra duty, seeking the board to approve the request for Kelly Kroon to complete a total of 18 hours of safety care training effective July 6th through August 17th. Number 2, seeking the board to approve Azania Williams and Zachary Ford as paraprofessionals for the ESY program effective July 5th through August 4th. And number 3, seeking the board to approve Cody Meegan as substitute paraprofessional for the ESY program effective July 5th through August 4th, 2022. Number 4, seeking the board to approve Diane Martelli as substitute aide for the extended school year program, the Kindergarten Kickstart, and the Leap Into Learning program. Number 5, seeking the board to approve the request for Donna Horwitz to complete 3.5 hours of extra duty on May 20th, 2022 to attend prom with her assigned student. Number 6, seeking the board to approve the request for the following staff to work extra duty hours with their assigned students to attend Play Unified track and field practices, and they are listed in the agenda. Under number 7, seeking the board to ratify and affirm the request for Marley Gonzalez Chapema to complete 1 hour of translation service to CST retroactive to May 3rd, 2022. Under transfers, seeking the board to ratify and affirm the transfer of the special education ABA text retroactive to May 2nd, 2022 for the remainder of the school year. Those names are listed in the agenda. No job descriptions this evening. And finally, substitutes, letter G, seeking the board to approve Jamie Gavito, substitute bus aide, to be called on an as-needed basis for the remainder of the 21-22 school year. Number 2, seeking the board to approve Francisco Pena and Mildred Guzman as substitute custodians to be called on an as-needed basis for the remainder of the 21-22 school year. And number 3, seeking the board to approve Melissa Wright-Nauer as substitute teacher aide to be called on an as-needed basis for the remainder of the 21-22 school year. And that is non-certificated personnel. Mrs. Turner, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Capello. Ms. Trempe, may I have a motion to approve the personnel non-certificated?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Mr. Bramhall?
Aye.
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 Aye. Gotta get Quinn. Katie Quinn.
Ms. Quinn?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. Curriculum and instruction? Dr. Goldberg, please.
Thank you very much. Under 13, letter A, requesting board approval of the professional development requests that are attached. Under letter B, requesting board approval of the field trip requests that are attached. Under letter C, seeking board approval to adopt the instructional materials for high school business of sports and entertainment next year, for integrated pre-K, and for 6 selections for summer reading at the middle school and the high school that are listed in the agenda. Under letter D, requesting that the board re-adopt all curriculum for the 2022-23 school year. And under number 2, that the board approves updates to district curriculum apps for health, music, and world languages for the 22-23 school year. Lastly, letter E, the board approves the following memberships for Cinnaminson High School and the New Jersey State Interscholastic Athletic Association to participate in approved interschool athletic programs and to be governed by the Constitution, bylaws, rules, and regulations of the NJSIAA during the 22-23 school year. Membership for Cinnaminson High School and the Burlington County Scholastic League to participate in approved interschool athletic programs and to be governed by the Constitution, bylaws, rules, and regulations of the BCSL during the 22-23 school year. Number 3, membership of the Cinnaminson School District and the Burlington County Crisis Response Team. And number 4, membership of the Cinnaminson School District in the Burlington County Professional Development Institute for the 22-23 school year.
Thank you, Dr. Goldberg. Ms. Iacone, may I have a motion to approve the curriculum and instruction items?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Mr. Bramhall?
Aye.
I'm sorry, Katie. Ms. Quinn?
You keep forgetting. You want to go, Katie? I'm so easily forgetful.
Up in there.
Aye. Yeah.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
You die yourself.
Motion approved. Oh, aye. Motion approved. Number 14, special education, Mrs. Llewellyn.
Thank you. Under letter A, contracts, seeking the board to approve an agreement between Educational Services Unit of Burlington County to provide the following services during the 22-23 school year. A, professional services following the attached fee schedule rates. B, non-public health services. C, non-public school chapters 192, 193, following the rates per service as set forth by the New Jersey Department of Education. D, IDEA services to eligible non-public students following the attached fee schedule rates. And E, IDEA ARP services to eligible non-public students following the attached fee schedule rates. Under letter B, student placement, seeking the board to ratify and affirm the tuition contract between Archway Programs at ACO Campus for one student from April 25th, 2022 to the end of the school year. Under letter C, settlement agreement, seeking the board to approve a settlement agreement, general release with regard to a special education student. And letter D, consultant agreement, seeking the board to approve the consultant agreement with Walsh Legacy LLC to provide educational services as requested by the district for the 21-22 school year at $55 per hour for educational services provided off-site. And that it concludes special education. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Llewellyn. Mr. Bramhall, may I have a motion to approve special education items?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Ms. Iacone?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion approved. Number 15, policy and regulations, we have none. Number 16, business and financial.
Thank you. Item A, grants. Number 1, that the board accepts the revised 2021-2022 funding statement for services under Chapter 192, 193 is attached. Number 2, that Cinnaminson Education Foundation, that the board accepts with appreciation the local funds in the amount of $20,157 from the Cinnaminson Education Foundation for the 21-22 school year. And item number 3, that the board accepts the 21-22 Commission for the Blind obligation as attached. Letter B, Finance, that the board approves the reallocation of capital reserve funds in the amount of $66,801.23 for the purchase of a tractor for the Buildings and Grounds Department as outlined below. Item C, Operations, that the board approves and accepts with appreciation the following donations: $576 from CHASA to the second grade for yearbooks, a staff appreciation lunch from Do Amici Italian Grill to the New Albany staff, a staff appreciation lunch from CHASA to the New Albany staff, a staff appreciation gift cards from Nick's Pizza and Pasta to the New Albany staff, L&M Donuts from Loringer, Shanglapure and Tadley families to the New Albany staff, staff appreciation lunch from CHASA to the Rush School staff, staff massages from Health Goals Chiropractic Center to the Rush School staff, boxed lunches from the CMS Families and Kathy's Catering to the middle school staff, staff treats from CMS Families to the middle school staff, boxed lunches from CHS Families and Kathy's Catering to the high school staff, and $724 from CHASA to the New Albany School for kindergarten and second grade field trips. Item number 2 is that the board approves the renewal rates for medical insurance coverage with Aetna, dental insurance coverage with Delta Dental, and prescription drug insurance with Express Scripts through the School Health Insurance Fund for the service period of July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023 is attached. Item number 3, that the board approves Melissa Livingood, Board Secretary, Business Administrator, as a designated individual to authorize line item changes between board meetings for the 22-23 school year. Item number 4, in accordance with New Jersey Statute 18A 19-1, the Board of Education hereby appoints Melissa Livingood, Board Secretary, Business Administrator, to approve invoices for payment as outlined below. Item number 5, that the board approves the establishment of the following petty cash funds effective July 1st, 2022 for the 22-23 school year as outlined in the agenda. Item number 6, that the board approves the resolution authorizing the district purchasing agent to make purchases of goods and services entered into on behalf of the state by the Division of Purchase and Property as attached. Item number 7, that the board authorizes the board secretary, business administrator to solicit bids and proposals for the fuel tank removal replacement project and bids proposals for the purchase of fuel for the 22-23 school year. Item D, contracts. Number 1, that the board approves the renewal addendum with Sodexo Management for the 22-23 school year as outlined in the agenda. Item number 2, that the board ratifies and affirms the 21-22 tuition contract for educational services between Cinnaminson Township Board of Education and Burlington County Special Services for one student in the amount of $26,702, retroactive from March 7th, 2022 through June 20th, 2022 is attached. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Livingood. Ms. Quinn, may I have a motion to approve business and financial items?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Ms. Quinn?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion approved. Other business, no other business today? Next, section 18 is public comments. Anyone wishing to comment, to make any comments, please step up to the podium.
3, 2.
No one?
Seeing none.
Okay, we'll move on. Comments from the board?
Thank you, Mrs. Turner. Congratulations to each of the Board of Education award recipients. We're proud of you and appreciate all that you do for the district. Best wishes to Kathy Canale on her retirement. Thank you for 33 years of dedicated service to our children. Best wishes to Carol Murphy on her retirement. Thank you for your years of service to the district. Thank you, Olivia, for her informative middle school report. Thank you for the generous donations to the district. The next regular Board of Education meeting, if you had fun tonight, you could all smile, is Tuesday, June the 14th, 2022, at 7 o'clock, right here in the middle school cafeteria. Information may be found on the district website. Mrs. Turner.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gaffney. No executive session tonight? Can I have, let's see, Mr. Gaffney, can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Ms. Quinn?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.